Oh, I am stuffed to the gills. Stuffed to the gills. I ate probably 10 steak tacos. Our neighbor, he's got his own apartment building with his family, and he's got a big, tall garage. In Chicago, there's a lot of garages like this, really, really tall, like 12 to 15 feet. You can put a vehicle up above your head, kind of thing. And he is from Mexico, and he cooks authentic Mexican food, like really, 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 really good Mexican food. And he was like, Rich, you know how we did like the steak tacos and stuff before? You guys got a lot of business coming and going. Do you want to do something soon? I said, yeah, you know what? I would like to do something soon for the guys. I'll pay for it, no problem. So I gave him like $100. He went out and got, I don't know how many pounds of steak, thin sliced steak, and like 5 packs of tortillas, and chopped up all kinds of lettuce and onions and tomatoes and cucumbers and red onion, and doctored up all the steak. And then he said, right here on California and Archer, there's a place called El Güero. And he said, we'll go over to Güero and get some corn and get some drinks for everybody. I forgot to get that earlier when I was out, so I jumped in this, like, it's an old school like Jeep, like I want to say like mid-90s or something like that, 4-liter, soft top. We just got done putting the radiator in it, pulling the fuel tank, putting all new grommets and stuff in the fuel tank because the fuel tank was leaking. Not leaking to the point where, fuel was coming out around the grommets whenever you would fill it up, and it would kind of trickle down the side of the tank. So we got a grommet kit, put all new grommets and stuff in the fuel tank, put everything back together, put it back in the vehicle, and it's like brand new, running like brand new. I took it out, went to Güero, and got the corn, got drinks, got red Solo cups and stuff like that, and came back, cooked everything real nice for the guys. So we're having a beautiful day today, and it was nice that we had a beautiful day because the start to my day was very, very rough. We have a customer that came here about 10 months ago, and she's got a Chrysler, like a 2013, 2014 or something like that. Chrysler, no, it's a Dodge Challenger. No, Dodge Charger. It's a Dodge Charger, and it has some issues. Cam sensor code keeps popping up randomly. Not only that, there was another code that popped up for the catalytic converter, and there was all kinds of stuff wrong with this thing. Cost the lady like almost $2,000. So they went through, they put like the new catalytic converter and stuff in it, fixed the oil, just addressed all kinds of things and fixed it. Well, now here we are, 10 months later, check engine lights back on again, and she's like swearing at me on the phone today. I'm talking like chewing me out. You mother this and that and everything else. I spent $2,000. The people at the emissions testing facility today is telling me it's the catalytic converter. It's the catalytic converter. And I'm like, it's the catalytic. How do they know what the catalytic converter is? How do they know that that's what it is? How do they know the problem with your vehicle? What I don't understand from you is, how are these people able to diagnose your vehicle right there in their stall just because they see a P0420 code and it says catalyst deficiency, but there are so many things that could cause a catalyst deficiency code. And what I find is that the people at the emissions testing facility, a lot of times they should just shut their mouth. They should not say anything. It's not their job to diagnose anybody's car. What's their job is to test it and tell the people whether they pass or fail, not to open their mouth and cause hysteria and stuff like that and diagnose it right there in their stall. I've seen people doing that when I went to the testing facility, people talking about how people aren't. It's not their job. Shut your mouth, do your job, tell them if they pass or not, and send them on their way with their paperwork. That's it. Don't diagnose their car right there. You're not a diagnostician. It's not your job to do it. So, of course, what ended up happening caused this hysteria, and this woman, she calls me up, chewing, cussing me out, everything else. I said, whoa, wait a second. Your dealings wasn't with me. I was not managing this place at the time. Let me figure out what's going on here. So I go ask a bunch of questions and stuff like that, and what ends up happening is they're like, oh yeah, we remember that lady. Oh yeah, it was kind of a pain in the butt to install everything, but we got her taken care of. drove it around for a bunch of miles and stuff like that. No issue, no nothing at all. And the vehicle left. It was completely fine. Now here we are, 10 months later, and this light is back on again with a cam sensor. There's a cam code, and she said that there was a PL420 code, and I don't know, whatever. So I tell the lady, I said, bring it in. Let me look at it. Well, how am I going to get home? I don't know how you're going to get home. Well, last time you took you guys forever to do it. Okay, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but how is you getting home my problem? I'm going to look at the car, and I'm not going to charge you to tell you what's going on with it. And if it's something that we did, I'm going to fix it for you. Don't worry about it. I got you taken care of. Well, but how am I going to get home? It's not my fault. How am I? Look, I don't know what to tell you. Your problem getting home is not my problem. I don't understand why you're screaming and yelling at me. And then here comes the insults and the slurs and everything else, and it's like, dude, what is your problem, man? Well, I've had this paperwork like 8 different times. It's failed now. Well, wait a second. I thought you told me before that you were going to bring the car in, and then you didn't have time, and 8 different times going to the testing facility. I thought you could only go like 3 times, and when you failed, you had to get it fixed, or you got some kind of 8 times. I don't think you can go 8 times and fail 8 times in 1 year. How is that even possible? Well, this and that, everything else, mother F this and that, and my time, how am I going to get home? I said, it seems like to me like you're more worried about how you're going to get home once you drop your car off than actually trusting me that we're going to take care of your car. Well, yeah, well, I need to be able to get home from there. I get what you're saying, but you live kind of far from here, and I have a job. I have to run this place, and I'm not going to ask one of my guys to take you home. They're busy. We're really swamped right now. You can't have somebody, an Uber, anything take you home while I take care of your car. I'm not even charging you for it to look at it and tell you what's going on. And like I said, if it's our problem, I'll help you out. I'll take care of it because it's our problem. Oh, this and that and everything else. I said, ma'am, get the vehicle in here with me. If it feels better that you're scheduling an appointment or something like that, you can say that you schedule an appointment, but we have first come, first serve stuff here, So get your vehicle in here, drop it off with me, and then go find your way home. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not arguing with you anymore. I'm not doing any of this stuff. So what does this lady do? Hangs up the phone. Just hangs up on me. Straight in the middle of talking, swearing at me, just hangs up the phone. Now, what would you guys do in a situation like that? Do you service this lady? Do you help her? Or do you just say, you know what, you want to act like that and call me out of character and all kinds of names and curse and swear and all this other stuff? That it's just not going to happen? Do you stop servicing a customer like that? I mean, she legitimately obviously has an issue to be upset. But for her to wait and say that the light has been on this long and all this other stuff and it didn't just come on, and then go to the emissions test with the light on knowing that it's going to fail, how do you address a situation like that? What do you do 10 months later after you've done the repair and it's still, similar codes are in the computer to what was there before, and then all of a sudden all the cursing and the violence and stuff like that? Do you just say no and walk away? Or do you try to at least honor her even after all the things that she's called and done and everything else? I mean, the words, sticks and stones, right? But obviously at some point you got to draw the line and be like, no, I'm done. You can't just be running your mouth however you want just because you're from the hood, or just because you've never been taught how to talk to somebody or have a conversation with somebody. I don't know. I'm glad she hung up. I wrote her name down as people that I have a chart that I started. You hang up the phone and you're disrespectful and stuff like that, your name goes on the chart. If I see that number pop up or I recognize that name, chances are I may not even pick up the phone because of how nasty you were and how I'm not doing business with somebody like that. I'm not going to have somebody disrespect and abuse my kindness like that because they feel a certain way, especially if I'm trying to help them and they can't simply just find a ride home. I don't get it. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. What would you do? How do you deal with that type of customer?